Have you ever found yourself in a situation where it feels like someone in your life just doesn't care about you? Maybe you felt like you're just a stepping stone for them, someone they can rely on only when it suits their needs. It's a tough pill to swallow, isn't it? Especially when you've poured so much of your time, energy, and heart into that relationship. You may even think back to all those moments you supported them, all the times you were there for them when they needed a friend. But here's the kicker. Sometimes the truth is that not everyone reciprocates that care. There are clear signs that can help you figure out someone's true intentions. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the 7 telltale behaviors of a person who might be using you without a second thought. By the end of this conversation, you'll not only be able to spot these behaviors from a mile away, but you'll also learn how the ancient wisdom of Stoicism can help you stand strong and shield yourself from emotional harm. So let's take a moment to think about this. How can we, as Stoics, maintain our strength and wisdom when faced with someone who seems to be using us? And how do you know if you're caught in a one-sided relationship where the other person doesn't genuinely care? These aren't just small questions. They're big ones that deserve our attention. Now imagine this. You're chatting with a friend, sharing your dreams and fears, only to realize they're not really listening. They might nod along, but their eyes are somewhere else, probably thinking about how they can turn the conversation back to themselves. That's a clear signal, isn't it? It's like trying to pour water into a cup with a hole in it. No matter how much you give, it just drains away. But here's where Stoicism comes into play. This philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control: our own actions, our reactions, and our sense of self-worth. So even when someone is being self-serving, we can choose how we respond. Instead of getting angry or feeling down, we can take a step back, assess the situation, and remember that we deserve relationships that are built on mutual respect and care. In this video, we'll explore each of these 7 behaviors in detail. We'll share stories and examples, maybe even some personal experiences, so you can truly connect with the message. You'll learn how to identify these patterns in your own life, and more importantly, how to keep your peace of mind and self-respect intact when you encounter them. So grab a seat, get comfy, and let's embark on this journey together. By the end, you'll not only be equipped with the knowledge to protect yourself, but also inspired to cultivate relationships that genuinely enrich your life. Remember, you are worthy of love and respect, and together, we'll find ways to ensure you receive just that. But before we dive in, just take a quick moment to check if you're subscribed to the channel. We've got a series of upcoming videos packed with tips to help you improve your life. Now let's dive into the first sign that someone might only be using you. Broken promises. Have you ever found yourself waiting for someone to keep their word, only to feel that sinking disappointment when it never happens? It's like standing in line for your favorite roller coaster, only to be told the ride is closed for repairs. You trust people to honor their commitments, and when they don't, it can leave you feeling let down and frustrated. So many of us have experienced that sting when a friend or a loved one fails to deliver on a promise, and it makes you question the sincerity of the entire relationship. But here's where Stoicism steps in, offering us a guiding light during those moments of frustration. Imagine yourself walking through the bustling streets of ancient Rome, with its grand columns and vibrant marketplaces. Picture a Stoic philosopher who had a close friend. This friend borrowed a significant sum of money and promised to return it by a specific day. When the day arrived, though, that friend was nowhere to be found, leaving our philosopher in a lurch. Instead of letting anger boil over or allowing disappointment to cloud his mind, he turned inward, seeking solace in Stoic wisdom. He asked himself, "What is in my control?" Now, take a moment to think about your own life. When someone breaks a promise, do you allow it to shatter your peace? Or do you remind yourself that while their actions may be beyond your control, your response is entirely yours? Stoicism teaches us to hone in on what we can control and to graciously accept what we cannot change. Can you recall a time when you used this principle? Maybe it was when a friend didn't show up to an important event, or a colleague missed a deadline that affected your plans. How liberating was it to let go of that need to control everything around you? In our story, the Stoic philosopher realized that he couldn't dictate his friend's actions, but he had the power to control his reaction. Instead of wallowing in anger or hurt, he chose understanding. He saw this broken promise not as a failure, but as a stepping stone for personal growth and resilience. So I want you to ponder this the next time someone lets you down. How will you respond? Will you allow their actions to disturb your inner calm? Or will you, like our wise philosopher, find strength in what you can control, your thoughts, feelings, and actions? In the grand play of life, we are the directors of our own show. Let the broken promises of others flit by like quick shadows, while you maintain your strength and brightness, illuminating your path with the wisdom of Stoicism. Remember, it's not about what happens to us, but how we choose to respond that shapes our experiences and ultimately defines who we are. So next time life throws a curveball your way, take a deep breath, embrace the Stoic mindset, and shine on. Sign 2. Ignoring your needs and feelings. Now let's talk about a sign that someone might be using you. Ignoring your needs and feelings. Picture this: a bustling little village in ancient Greece, where the sun shines brightly, and life is full of vibrant colors and lively chatter. In the heart of this village, there's a young man named Alex. He's the kind of person who wears his heart on his sleeve, always ready to lend a hand to anyone in need. One day, he notices a friend, Lucas, going through a tough time. Alex pours his heart into helping him. He listens patiently, offers advice, and even sacrifices his own plans to be there for Lucas. But no matter how much Alex gives, Lucas seems completely oblivious to Alex's feelings. He continues to take advantage of Alex's kindness, treating it like it's no big deal. As the days pass, Alex starts to feel a storm brewing inside him. That familiar ache of disappointment grows stronger, and he begins to wonder if all his efforts are in vain. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever poured your time and energy into someone, only to feel like you're invisible? It's like standing in front of a crowd shouting your heart out, and yet no one is listening. That's not just a story from the past. It's a reality many of us face today. When someone treats our kindness as if it's just a casual favor, it can feel like a cold wind blowing out the flame of our inner spark. But here's where the beauty of Stoic wisdom comes into play. Your inner spark, your dignity, and your self-worth can remain strong and safe, regardless of how others treat you. Think about a moment in your life when you felt like your efforts were overlooked. How did that make you feel? Did you allow their indifference to dim your light, or did you find the strength to remember that your worth isn't tied to their appreciation? Stoicism teaches us a powerful lesson. Our happiness and peace are not dependent on what others think or do. If someone ignores your feelings or needs, that says far more about them than it ever could about you. How empowering is it to realize that you have the choice not to let someone else's carelessness disturb your calm? Now, let's visualize a future moment when you might encounter this kind of indifference again. With the strength of a Stoic at your side, you'll be equipped to see things clearly. You'll notice their behavior, but you won't let it shake your peace. Instead, you'll hold on to your dignity and self-respect, no matter what's thrown your way. As we journey through life, let's wear our Stoic armor, protecting our inner peace from the neglect of others. Your self-worth is like a sturdy fortress, built to withstand the indifference that may come your way. And when you embrace this strong state of mind, you won't just find calm, you'll discover true freedom. The freedom to choose how you respond, to stick to your values, and to live with unshakable serenity, even when relationships get tricky. So, the next time you sense someone disregarding your feelings, take a deep breath and remember, your worth is intrinsic and cannot be overshadowed by anyone else's neglect. You have the power to shine brightly no matter the circumstances. Embrace it. Sign 3. Diminishing or disdainful comments. Let's dive into another telling sign that someone might be using you. Those diminishing or disdainful comments that seem to sneak in just when you're feeling good about yourself. You know, the kind of comments that leave you questioning your worth. As the famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that counts." Imagine this scenario. You're brimming with excitement, sharing a personal achievement or an idea you're passionate about. Maybe it's a promotion at work, a new creative project, or even a personal milestone. You're feeling that natural high, radiating enthusiasm. Then out of nowhere, someone rolls their eyes or snickers derisively, as if your excitement is a punchline to a joke only they can see. How does that make you feel? It's like a dark cloud suddenly overshadowing your sunny day, isn't it? In moments like this, it can feel as though they're trying to dim your shine, to shrink you down into something less than you are. But here's the cool part. Their words and attitudes are completely outside your control. What you can control, however, is how you respond to them. Now let's transport ourselves back to ancient Rome. Picture yourself as a wise Stoic philosopher, standing in a bustling marketplace. People around you are chatting, laughing, and sometimes exchanging barbs. If someone throws a nasty comment your way, would you let it rattle you? Not a chance. You would remind yourself that your worth doesn't hinge on someone else's opinions. It's an internal flame that burns bright, fueled by your own values and self-respect. So when those belittling comments come flying in, it's important to remember that you have the power to rise above the negativity. Your light can't be dimmed by their words. Stay rooted in your confidence and let your inner strength radiate. Think about it. Ask yourself, why would you hand over the power to someone else to disturb your peace? When they launch their hurtful words at you, it's often an attempt to provoke a reaction. But you can choose to be unshaken. You can respond calmly and assertively, holding on to your dignity. Now, I won't pretend it's always easy. Let's be real, it takes practice, just like preparing for a big game. The next time you find yourself in a situation where someone tries to belittle you, take a deep breath. Picture yourself at the helm of your own ship, confidently steering through rough waters. You have the ability to decide not to let their comments pierce your protective shield. When you embrace this mindset, you'll feel robust and unwavering, regardless of how many negative comments come your way. That's one of the incredible lessons that Stoicism imparts. It's about understanding what you can control and what you can't, and then focusing your energy where it truly matters. So, the next time someone tries to undermine your excitement or diminish your achievements, simply smile and nod. Recognize that their opinions are just that, opinions. They do not define who you are. Remember, you are the architect of your own inner world. Build it strong, fill it with self-love, and let the wisdom of Stoicism guide you. As we navigate our journeys, let's choose to stand firm in our self-worth, shining brightly like stars in a vast night sky, undeterred by the clouds of negativity that may come our way. Sign 4. Facing the storm. Imagine you're caught in a storm, and you look around, hoping to see a friend by your side, fighting through it together. But when you turn, you realize they're nowhere to be found. They've left you to face the storm all by yourself. This isn't just a tough situation. It's a chance for you to learn and grow. Here's where some Stoic wisdom comes into play. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control what others do, like when a friend isn't there when you need them most. But what we can control is how we react. Think back to a time when someone wasn't there for you. Did you feel disappointed? That's completely normal. But Stoicism offers us a better way to handle these feelings. It reminds us that our peace and strength shouldn't rely on other people's actions or presence. So the next time you find yourself feeling alone in a tough moment, pause and ask yourself, what can I control here? You can't change what others do, but you can decide how you respond. You have a deep well of inner strength, and you can choose to stand tall and stay determined, no matter what. This Stoic way of thinking doesn't mean you shut yourself off from the world or stop caring about others. It's about understanding what you can really control. It's like building a strong shield around your mind and heart, knowing that your strength doesn't depend on whether someone else is with you or if they think you're great. Imagine you're still standing alone in that storm, holding your ground against the wind. You're not standing there because you don't feel sad or hurt about being left alone. You're standing firm because you've learned to believe in yourself. No matter what happens outside, you know that your inner strength can't be shaken by anything. This is the heart of Stoicism, finding calm inside yourself even when everything around you feels shaky. When you find yourself alone, especially when you hoped someone would be there to help, take a moment to think. What has this taught you about how strong you really are? How can this experience help you feel even more independent and at peace? Always remember, just because someone isn't there for you doesn't make you any less valuable or capable of handling life's ups and downs. You have what it takes to face challenges, with or without anyone by your side. Here's a fun Stoic exercise for you to try when you feel all alone during a tough time. Take a moment to think about what you can actually control. Take a deep breath, feel the air fill your lungs, and remind yourself of your own strength. Imagine yourself like a big, strong oak tree with roots that go deep into the ground. The wind might howl and the rain might pour, but you stand tall and steady, just like that tree. When the storm passes, and it always does, think about how you've grown. You've learned that you can face challenges bravely. It's not that you don't care about having support, it's that you've become strong enough to handle things on your own. That's what Stoic wisdom is all about. Remember, you're tougher, smarter, and more resilient than you might think. So the next time someone isn't there for you when you really need them, don't let that shake your confidence. Their absence doesn't take away from your strength. Your real power comes from within you, from the way you think, the things you do, and your commitment to being the best version of yourself. With this mindset, you'll discover that no storm, no matter how fierce, can ever knock you down. All right, let's move on to the next part. But before we do, I noticed you haven't hit that like button yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube show our videos to more people and keeps our content coming your way. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It's free and it means a lot. Thanks. And let's keep going. Now, let's dive into another sneaky behavior that can signal someone might be trying to use you. Guilt manipulation. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone twists the narrative, making you feel responsible for their feelings, actions, or even their bad luck? It's like a classic magic trick. Just when you think you have control, they pull the rug out from under you with a well-placed guilt trip. Imagine this. You're in ancient Athens, strolling through the vibrant marketplace, when you overhear a wise philosopher calmly handling a friend's guilt-laden remarks. This friend is trying to make him feel guilty about not attending a gathering, saying, "If you really cared about me, you would be there." The philosopher, however, rooted in Stoic principles, sees this for what it is, a test of his character and wisdom. Take a moment and think about it. How often have you faced a similar situation? Perhaps someone has said, "I can't believe you're letting me down," or, "If you truly loved me, you'd do this for me." Those words can be like arrows, aiming right for your heart, making you feel obligated to act against your better judgment, all because of that gnawing sense of guilt. But here's the empowering truth about Stoicism. No one can truly make you feel anything unless you allow them to. When someone tries to manipulate your feelings, it's crucial to take a step back and examine the situation through a Stoic lens. Ask yourself, what are they trying to gain from me? Does it align with my values and beliefs? If the answer is no, then you have a clear path forward. Don't let their emotional tricks lead you astray. Let's practice this mindset together. The next time someone tries to pull you into their guilt trap, pause for a moment. Breathe. Reflect on whether you're acting out of genuine duty or just falling prey to their manipulation. If it's the latter, remember that you have the power to say no. You can stand firm in your beliefs and safeguard your inner peace. Here's a fun exercise for you. Whenever that guilt starts creeping in, visualize a big, strong barrier around your mind. Imagine it as an unbreakable wall that blocks out all those manipulative tactics. Behind this wall lies your core values, your sense of fairness, and your commitment to living a life of integrity. No one's words can penetrate this wall unless you allow them to. And don't forget, Stoicism teaches us that it's perfectly okay to say no. It's completely valid to prioritize your happiness and beliefs over someone else's emotional demands. By doing so, not only do you protect your peace, but you also establish boundaries that prevent others from exploiting your kindness and caring nature. So, the next time someone tries to make you feel guilty about something, stand tall. Approach the situation not with anger or frustration, but with calmness and confidence. Let them know that your choices stem from your own reasoning and principles, not from their attempts at manipulation. This way, you maintain your stoic cool, uphold your integrity, and remain steadfast in your commitment to living a good life. Remember, life is a journey, and we each navigate it with our own set of values. By cultivating this awareness, you empower yourself to rise above the guilt and negativity that others may try to impose on you. Let's embrace our stoic mindset and continue on our path with clarity and purpose. Now let's talk about a different kind of person, the one who only comes around when they need something from you. You know the type. They're like shadows that appear only when the sun shines on their problems. When everything's going smoothly in their life, they're nowhere to be found. But the moment they need a favor, suddenly they're all sweet and friendly, showering you with charm. This is a clear sign that someone might be using you, and spotting it is super important for keeping your peace. Picture this. You're a respected Roman senator. Your wisdom and influence draw admiration from many, but you quickly realize that certain individuals only approach you when they want something, whether it's your connections or even your hard-earned coins. The Stoic way to handle this isn't to get mad or sad. Instead, take a moment to see these interactions for what they truly are. Transactions devoid of any real friendship or genuine care. Have you ever experienced that awkward moment when someone who usually doesn't talk to you suddenly pops up asking for help? Maybe they want a favor, a listening ear, or even just a sliver of your precious time and attention. And once they get what they want, poof, they vanish back into the ether, leaving you feeling used and unappreciated. It's frustrating, isn't it? It can leave a bittersweet taste, like realizing you've given so much to someone who just takes. But guess what? Stoicism offers us some wise strategies to navigate these situations with grace. The first step is to spot the pattern without becoming resentful. Not everyone who asks for help is trying to exploit you. But if you notice that someone only shows up when they're in a bind, it's time to take a step back and reflect on the nature of your relationship. Are they truly your friend because they value you for who you are, or are they just interested in what you can do for them? Stoicism teaches us to set boundaries, and let me tell you, that's not selfish. It's smart. You have every right to protect your energy and what you have, especially from those who seem to take without giving anything in return. This doesn't mean you should stop being helpful or kind. It just means you should be discerning about where you extend your kindness, choosing to help where there's respect and appreciation on both sides. The next time someone who typically doesn't engage with you suddenly approaches asking for a favor, take a moment to pause. Reflect on your friendship. Ask yourself, are they really adding value to my life? Or is this just a one-way street? If it feels like they're only using you, it's absolutely okay to say no or to consider whether you genuinely want to help. Here's a cool Stoic trick to try. Before you respond to their request, take a deep breath and think about what's fair and just. Picture yourself sitting in that Roman Senate, weighing your options. Ask yourself, is this a fair exchange? Am I being treated with the respect I deserve? If the answer is no, then it's perfectly acceptable to decline their request with kindness. You don't have to keep giving endlessly, especially to those who only take. By setting these boundaries, you not only assert your worth, but also safeguard your peace of mind. You want your kindness to flow from the heart, not because someone is pushing you into a corner. When you establish these limits, you cultivate friendships built on mutual respect, where everyone gives and takes fairly. So remember, true friends and meaningful relationships are all about balance, helping each other while respecting each other's needs. With the wisdom of Stoicism, you can navigate these tricky dynamics gracefully. maintaining your inner peace no matter how others choose to behave. So, I encourage you to take a moment and think about your relationships. Are they enriching your life? If not, it might be time to reassess who's truly worthy of your time and energy. After all, you deserve connections that uplift and inspire you. Finally, let's delve into a significant clue that someone might be using you. They don't seem to care about your feelings. You know, a true friend, the kind you can call at 2 a.m. when you're feeling low, will genuinely want to understand how you're feeling, listen to your problems, and be there to support you when you need it most. But when someone shows little interest in how you feel or what you're going through, it's a strong indicator that they might not have your best interests at heart. Picture this scene. Imagine a wise philosopher standing in the bustling heart of a busy marketplace. People are rushing around, caught up in their own lives, their eyes glued to their phones or fixated on their next errand, too preoccupied to notice when someone is struggling nearby. This philosopher remains calm and observant, not because he's indifferent, but because he understands that real empathy is a powerful tool. It means taking the time to connect, to see beyond the surface, and to truly care about others. Now think about your own life. Have you ever encountered someone who seems completely oblivious when you're facing challenges? Perhaps you shared something important, a struggle or a heartfelt story, and their reaction was a casual shrug or an awkward change of subject. Ouch, that can sting. It's moments like these that serve as a wake-up call to reflect on your friendships. Are you spending time with people who truly care about you? Or are you pouring your energy into relationships where you're just a means to an end? Let's take a moment to interact. Close your eyes for a second and think about the people in your life. Do they uplift you? Are they there to celebrate your victories and support you in tough times? If the answer is no, that's your cue to reassess. So, the next time you feel undervalued or overlooked by someone, pause and take stock. Are you appreciated for who you are, or just for what you can do for them? It's crucial to surround yourself with friends who radiate kindness and support, rather than those who seem to take without giving anything back. If you keep feeling like someone doesn't genuinely care about your feelings, it might be time to reconsider what role they play in your life. Stoic wisdom teaches us that true friendships should be built on mutual respect and understanding, where kindness flows both ways like a river nourishing the land. You deserve to be around people who care about how you feel, who are genuinely interested in your challenges, and who offer help without any strings attached. Here's a thought to ponder. If someone is perpetually indifferent to your feelings, consider this Stoic idea. Focus on cultivating friendships with those who uplift you, who fill your life with joy and positivity. Spend less time with those who drain your energy, because let's be honest, we all have a limited amount of emotional bandwidth, and more with those who make you feel alive and appreciated. You have the power to choose who gets to be close to you. Remember, life is too short to waste on relationships that don't enrich your soul. So take charge and build a circle of friends who reflect the love and support you want to give and receive. I want you to think about this. How can you be a better friend too? Sometimes we need to step back and reflect on our own actions. Are we giving the same level of care to others that we seek for ourselves? Let's make it a two-way street. After all, meaningful connections thrive on mutual respect and genuine care. So go out there and nurture those bonds that bring out the best in you. And remember, you are worthy of friendships that light up your path. So, as we wrap up today's discussion, remember this. By tuning into the signs that someone might be using you, you're taking a powerful step to safeguard your happiness and conserve your energy. Life is too short to waste on relationships that don't uplift you or honor your true self. The signs we talked about today are not just indicators, they're your guideposts. They remind you that you deserve friendships rooted in genuine care and mutual respect. And here's the best part. With the principles of Stoicism as your compass, you have the wisdom to navigate these tricky waters with grace. As you move forward, keep this in mind. Every relationship should feel like a two-way street, not a one-sided road. Surround yourself with those who lift you up, who appreciate you for who you are, and who bring positivity into your life. So let's commit together. Let's recognize our worth, protect our peace, and foster connections that truly matter. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who might need this insight. And be sure to subscribe for more wisdom and encouragement as we continue this journey together. Thanks for watching, and remember, your story is yours to shape, filled with relationships that enrich your life.